Okay, good evening to you all. Today is our day 2 of this 3-month data analytics bootcamp. Like I said, this bootcamp will last for about 3 months, and today is our day 2. So, like always, we are starting with the outlines. That is what we are to cover for the day. So, these are our outlines. First of all, we will have a recap on day 1. Then we'll discuss about introduction to Excel, workbook, worksheet, how to save file, Excel file, rows and columns, cells and cells designation, grid lines, table and table border, width and height. All these are what we are going to cover today. So uh we have a long road to go. So let's just get started and have a recap on what we did yesterday. Okay. So a recap on what we did yesterday. If you can recall, yesterday we have an introduction about the program, followed by a welcoming address from Yahya Suleiman Muhammad. And also we have a definition of some terms where I discussed about data science, data analytics, data scientist, data analysis, data analyst. I talk about the terms so that you will have an understanding of what each of these terms means. We talked about that yesterday, and we move to discuss about the 4 questions that data analytics tend to answer. These 4 questions are: what happened, which is answered under descriptive analysis, and we have why did it happen, which is also answered under diagnostic analysis, and we also have what will happen, which has to do with the predictive analysis, and the last one is what can we do to change or what can be done to change the feature, which is a question that is answered under prescriptive analysis. So we discussed about these 4 questions, and I believed you all understand what this means. And later on, we'll talk about why choosing data analytics career. We talk about data analysis or data analytics journey. And we also talk about data analytics tools. We talk about the tools, then what to expect at the end of the bootcamp, followed by the question and answer. So this is just a recap on what we discussed yesterday, and I believe you have a full understanding of all what we have discussed, since I did share the video with you, which I believe some of you have watched it, for you to have a good understanding of it. Like I told you, yesterday I said something. Please, I don't want you to, you know, to say that you are waiting until when you have much classes to watch all the videos. If we did a class, please try as much as you can. Try as much as you can to watch everything before the next day. Please try as much as you can to do that, because I don't want it to be too much for you, so that when we reach a certain level, you will think that you are not in the class, or you are not together with us, or we did something that is not in the class. Okay, so this is it. So let's continue. So now we are going to have introduction to Excel. So this is Excel. I believed almost all of you know about Excel, Microsoft Excel. So Excel is one of the Microsoft Office packages. It's one of the tools out of the Microsoft Office packages. They're the packages that were released by Microsoft Word in 90s, and it's been used since then. Up till today, a lot of offices, a lot of organizations are using all these packages, because there are many in the tools, because the packages includes Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Group, OneNote, Publisher, Access. A lot of them, about 11 of the tools, are in Microsoft Office packages. Excel is one of them. So Excel, as you can see, like I said yesterday, is one of the most commonly used software around the globe, because it has billions of users in the world. Almost everyone, every organization, anywhere you might find yourself in the world, they are using Microsoft Excel. I used to say this to a lot of people, that any data you are seeing online, any data you are seeing that tech companies are gathering, or organization or government or wherever, even on the website, on the internet, that data at the end of the day, the data will goes back to Excel file. Excel has a lot of formats. You see, some of you will be seeing some data are saved in CSV, that is comma separated value. Comma separated value is another type of, is format, one of the format of Excel. So Excel has a lot of formats, which at the end of the day, like I said, all data in the world are saved in Excel. So anything that you are seeing at the end of the day, that data will go back to Excel. It will go back to Excel. It will be saved in Excel. And that's why, as a data analyst, is number one thing that you need to learn, that you need to understand how to work with it. Don't get confused. Some people called Excel, you will be hearing them talking about spreadsheet. You hear them, they said spreadsheet. Of course, some people call Facebook as spreadsheet, but there is difference between spreadsheet and the Excel. So there is difference between the two. Spreadsheet is most of them, when they say spreadsheet, they are referring, some of them, they are referring to Google Sheet, but Google Sheet is also different. So it's just something there, and it doesn't have a lot of features that Excel has and others. But take note, as from today, whenever you hear spreadsheet, they are referring to Excel. That's what they mean by spreadsheet. But Google Sheet is something else, and you'll be hearing Google Sheet somewhere with people, but it's something else also, and it has the same I can say it looks like Excel. You can work with it. If you know Excel, you can work with it. But the features in Excel can never be compared with the features in Google Sheet. So Google Sheet has some limited features, has some limited things that you can do with it, which you can do more in Microsoft Excel. So we'll discuss about Excel today. You will see what Excel is all about, and that way all our outlines has to do with you understanding this Excel. So don't be afraid of it, because the reason why a lot of people are not learning Excel, Excel is one of the tools that scared a lot of people. When you open Excel, you saw a lot of grid lines, a lot of cells in it. People will get scared and will tell you that, no, I cannot work with it. I cannot learn it. I don't even want to have anything to do with it. That's why Excel was abundant, and people keep learning Microsoft Word, working with PowerPoint, and allow Excel to be. So, but now you are back to it, and you are going to learn it fully during this bootcamp. And like I said yesterday, I said something about it. Excel is one of the tools that you cannot say you are done with it. Never. Because every single day, if you are in Excel or working with Excel, you will see something new in it. I've been using Excel since 2007 up till today. Almost every day I use Excel, and believe me, I cannot say I fully know what Excel is all about or what is in Excel. I cannot say that, because Excel always has things that you don't know. You don't even know they exist in Excel until maybe you have something or you have a work related to it. So please get ready. It's the tool that you are going to learn most. And when you learn Excel, all other data analytics tools will be very easier for you. Most of the Excel functions are what was used to develop other data analytics softwares or data analytics tools. So you are going to see a lot of similarities in Excel. When you learn Excel, you are doing other things in Excel. A lot of people will not believe. They will not believe you that you are using Excel. So they will say that, what software are you using? When you say Excel, they will say, no, you are lying, or maybe they will not believe that you used Excel to do what you did. So, but when you learn it, you master it, you will know that you can do a lot with it, and any kind of work that has to do with data analytics, believe me, you can do it with Excel if you master it well. So I think it's good. We did justice to Excel, but we are going to learn more in it. But as introduction to it, I believe you understand what it is. Let's move on and continue talking about Excel. So I will just stop my screen sharing now, so that I'll open my Excel, so that we'll start working with learning about it now. So I'll stop my screen now. When I open it, I'll bring it back. So yeah, here it is. Okay, so please, if you can see my screen, let me know in the chat so that we can continue. Can you see my screen, please? Please, can you see my screen? Thank you so much. Yeah. So this is what Excel looks like. I don't know. I'm using 2020. I can just say I'm using 365, and it's paid. Excel is free. Most of you that are using maybe 2019, 2016, 2013, 2007, believe me, all what we are going to do, you can use your Excel to do it. It's free. It's free. Excel is free. But if you tend to have this one, I believe they might ask you to pay for it or something like that. But don't worry, it's all the same. With everything we are going to do is going to look the same. So this is how Excel looks like. As you can see, this is the interface of it, and we are going to talk about every bit of it. Consider yourself as you don't know anything. Like I told you yesterday, data analytics is very easier to start, because anybody, anyone, irrespective of your age, your level of education, whatever, you can learn Excel. You can learn data analytics. So don't worry, consider yourself as a beginner, and we're going to learn everything de novo, that is right from the start. So as you can see, this that I open, let me just show something to you. As you can see, we have different files. This is how it looks like. I just click on this blank workbook, and it opened this for me. As you can see, this is what is called a workbook. That's number two. Number three outline that we have is to discuss about workbook. What is what workbook? You see, they write every Excel file that you open, they will write book one here. On top of it, you'll see book one. I believe you can see it here. They will just name it as book one. So this is a workbook. And this workbook that you are seeing is the entire file of the Excel. That is complete file that we have. If we save it, it will just be a file, one single file as a workbook. So take note, in a workbook, we have worksheets under it. So you see, this is sheet one, and this sheet one has all this. That's sheet one for sheet one. And we can also have another sheet. When we click on this plus, we'll have sheet two, we'll have sheet three, sheet four, sheet five, sheet six. You can have different sheets in one workbook. So now, let's understand what made up of these sheets that we have and the workbook. So if you understand this, you see that these sheets that you are seeing is what made up of workbook. So in this particular sheet that you are seeing, one of the importance of Excel and why Excel is quite different from any other tool that we have, in this single sheet that you are seeing, it can take the data that this can take rows. It has about 1,048,576 rows in it. That's what this single sheet has. So it means if I want to record data, I want to save a data or write a data in it, I can keep writing until I write 1,048,576 rows. That's what each and every sheet in Excel contains. Another thing is Excel has columns, and each columns in Excel has a number. The number of columns in Excel is about 16,384 columns in single sheet. Single sheet has 16,384 columns in it. So what are the columns and what are the rows? If you just listen to this, you'll understand that we already know what columns are. The columns are what? Are this. Yeah, this is the one that is the A, B, C, D. We have A, column B, column C, column D. That's the horizontal rows that we have. While the vertical ones with row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, these are the rows. So in Excel, we have columns and we have rows. Columns are the alphabetical ones. That we cannot say column 1. We say column A, column B, column C, column D, column E. That's what we have. While row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So for these columns that you are seeing, we have about 16,384. For the rows up till down that you are seeing, we have 1,048,576. So if you hold control down in your Excel, you are going to have the exact number, exact figures that I just said, which is 1,048,576 rows. That's what Excel has. So if you look at it now, and these sheets that you are seeing, Excel can have up to more than 255 sheets in it. More than that, you can keep creating sheets in one single Excel. So look at it, do the calculation, do the mathematics. One sheet can take 1,048,576 rows, and it has about 16,000 columns. If you look at it this way, you'll know that Excel alone, one single workbook of Excel, can take the entire data of Nigeria. All Nigerian data can be in one single workbook. The entire Nigerian data, everything can be in one single workbook. Everything. So that's why one of the powerfulness of it is it's used as a database. A lot of people are using Excel as a database for them to store their data, because it can take huge amount of data. One single file that you are seeing is what is used to save entire data of the nation in one single place. And that's why now, as you can see, the entire payroll of a state can be maybe around 200 workers or 24,000 civil servants in a state. So 24,000 will be in one single sheet. One single sheet, and without all the other sheets that we just created, one single sheet can take all the data that payroll of a particular state, and it will be stored in one single Excel file. So this is what workbook and worksheet is all about. So you know that worksheet is what gives us the columns and rows, and while sheets is what is used to give us the workbook. Workbook is the file that is the sole file of Excel. So I believe you understand this and you know what Excel is all about. And you know now that this is one of the powerfulness of Excel. It can be used as a database, and it can be used to store a huge amount of data. Huge amount of data. Billions of data can be saved in one single Excel file. Okay. So now let's move to another thing that we have, one of the our outlines, which is to talk about how to save Excel file. Like I told you, we are going to learn all this as beginners, so I'm not going to assume you know everything or you know something. Yeah, I'm going to tell you how to do everything right from A, like I told you, up till maybe XY, like I said. So you just need to click File, or you click Control S if you are used to that. Don't worry, if it is new file, once you click Control S, it will give you this. Or when you click File and you click Save As, or you click Save, anyone you click on, it will give you the same. So if I click Save, it will bring me here. Then to ask me to choose where I'm going to save the file. So I'm going to say this PC, or I can browse. I can say browse. But this can be quite different from yours. I'm sorry, I'm using, like I told you, 365. So yours can be different from mine, but it's the same procedure. Just give the name, the file name, the name that you want to give it. Like I told you, every file will look book one. That means it's workbook one. So I'm going to save this in my documents. I'm going to call it, for example, let's say I'm going to call it data underscore analytics underscore bootcamp underscore 3.0, or I say 3, or let me say 2024 underscore file. So because we are going to keep using this file, all our practice, everything, we are going to keep using this file. So I will save this file here with this name. So give it the name and click save. So now once you did this, you save your file, and congratulations, you are about to start working with Excel. So this is the best practice. Save your file, whatever you are going to use, save it. You too that you are going to keep practicing what we have done. Please get a file, save everything in your file. I told you how to create a sheet. So everything we did, we can name this D1. For example, you can name it D1 practice. You can name this D2, D3, D4. So all your practice, all your everything that you've been doing, you can save everything in one single workbook, and it will be one file for you. So don't worry, you can work here, you can move aside. You see, it's big. I told you the columns are about 16,000, more than 16,000. Come somewhere, keep doing whatever you want to do. Anything that you want to do, you can do it in one single sheet of your choice. So we can name this D1. I can put D2, D3, D4, D5. We can keep doing things like that. And you too, I think is the best thing for you to keep doing, so that everything will be in the same file. All your works will be in the same file. Even your write-ups, maybe your jottings and everything that you want to save, you can come to this file and save whatever you want to save in it. So we are done with this, and I believe everyone now can save a file and can start work with it. We talk about rows and columns already. I told you the rows are the number that is 1, 2, 3. As you can see already, Excel write this. And please don't get confused with these numbers and serial number. These numbers are not serial number. Please take note on that. They are just rows number. We are in row 1, we are in row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6. We are in column A, column B, column C, column D, column E, column F. That's how it works. Please take note on that. So let's talk about cell and cell designation in Excel. So you see, Excel is full of cells, and each cell in Excel has a cell designation. So now you see we have all these grid line. If I click here, you see my cursor just click on something that is rectangular green line here on this. If I click here, like this is how it just look like. There are a lot of boxes in it. Each box is called a cell. Each box that you are seeing is called a cell, and each box has its unique name. And the name, the cell designation of each cell is the intersection of column and row. That what will give us the name of the cell, is the intersection of column and row. That what will give us the name of the cell. Why did I say that? If I click here now, if you look at the intersection of column, that is D, and the intersection of rows, that is 9, that one will give us the name of this particular cell, which is D9. If I come here, I click here to say H5. You can look at it here. You will see it on the clipboard here. You see it H5. If I click here, it will give me L4. But make sure I want you to learn it from here. Stop looking at this. Learn it from here. That is intersection of columns and rows is what gives us the cell designation. So whenever you hear anything, cell name, cell designation, cell reference in Excel, we are talking about this. We are talking about intersection of columns and rows. And if you look at it from this up to 1 million rows, each and every one of them has unique name. So there is no way we can have F1 we can have two F1s. There is no way we can have two F1s. There is no way we can have two E5. No way. There is no way we can have C10, two C10. There is no way we can have that. So every cell and any name of the cell is unique. All the names are unique. So please take note on this, and it will help you a lot when we start writing our formula, when we start writing our functions, and everything. This is what will help you to put the reference of every formula and to do your calculation the way you want it to be. So this is what cell and cell designation is all about. So let's talk about grid lines. You see all these lines that you are seeing, don't get scared. This line has no purpose. They are just here to guide you, to help you understand that there is difference between this cell and this cell. That's the only reason why these lines exist. If you want to print something, this is as blank as what can I say? It's as blank as let me show this to you. I'm sorry. It's as blank as Microsoft Word. As you can see, this is how Excel looks like. Please don't get confused. This is exactly how Excel looks like. It's white paper like this. It's when you write something you want to print, and that's how it happens. So don't get confused with these grid lines. They are nothing. If you want to remove them, go to View. If you come to View and you untick this grid line, you see this is how Excel turns into. So Excel is like Microsoft Word. Whatever I write here, it looks exactly the way it is here in Microsoft Word, unless maybe I put border or I put a table in it. And if not, all these lines are of no use. Don't worry about them. They are just there to guide you. So I can tick it back. Then my grid line is back. And this is one of the things that scared a lot of people in Excel. So let's continue. And another thing also that we are going to discuss is table and table border. So since you understand today that these grid lines that you are seeing in Excel are of no use, so let's learn how are you going to put a table in Excel. A lot of people are using tabular form to save data. How are you going to do that in Excel? So for you to do that, first of all, you need to select that is the number of rows and number of columns that you want to put the border or you want to put the table in it. And this is exactly what brings us to discuss about cursor in Excel. I will explain this in brief to you so that you understand how it works before I start the highlighting and before I put the table and before I put the border for you. Please. Excel, you all know what cursor is all about. I believe you know what cursor is. This that is just shaking, you can see I'm just trying to shake my cursor. You are seeing it. So in Excel, this cursor that you are seeing has different features, and any feature that this cursor has did something different from other feature. Number one that this cursor did is when this cursor is this white, look at the way it looks like. It's just like a plus sign, but it's white in it. You just see it like this. When it is like this, and you hold your left click, not right click, left click. In any cell, maybe from A at the middle of this cell, I just drag it. I hold my left click. It means I'm highlighting the cells. Highlighting, that's what it did. So when it is this white and you hold it and you drag, this is highlighting. I highlight this from C to M and from row 3 to row 15. That's what I highlighted. Please take note on this. This is one of the features of this cursor. Another feature of cursor is when it turns to this, you see, I just click on this cell and I come at the edge of the cell. You see my cursor. Let me zoom it for you, please, so that you can see it well. So you see, I just click on this. I come to the edge of it. You see the cursor turn to black. Now it's like it's a plus sign, but it's look black like this. So now if at this edge, that I'm here at this age, as you can see, if I hold my left click and I come down with it like this, is I'm dragging. That's what we call dragging. So whenever you ask to drag in Excel, this is how you drag. So dragging is when you have something like this, you come to the edge, you drag, and you can drag horizontally or you can drag vertically. If you want, you can go vertically the way you want it to be. So I can go like this, I can come like this also. You see, I can drag it like this, or I can drag it like this. So this is how you drag. Another thing for cursor in Excel is when you come at the middle, I click on any cell. When you come at the middle, that is center of the rectangular box, when it shows you these three arrows, let me zoom it again so that you can see it well. When you see these three arrows up, forward, and backward like this, please, when you hold your left click, it's like you are moving. You see, I'm moving this cell to somewhere. Maybe let me just write 1 in it. So now if I come here, I drag this one, I bring it to A2. If I want to move this one to E, I bring it to E2. I can drag it to A6. I can drag it. You see, I'm moving it. I'm moving it. So when your cursor turn to this, is you are moving. Okay. Another thing is when I click this, when I come at the middle of the column, that is center of the column, and I click it, is I highlight the entire column. And when I come at the middle of the row, it's like I highlight the entire row. So it's another feature of Excel. You see it turn to this a black down arrow and a black forward arrow. That's how it is. So another thing for the function of this Excel, before we move, we have width. This is the width of the column, and this is the height of the rows. And Excel cursor has different function, or it has different feature in that. So when it turns to this, that is, I come at the edge, that is end of this column. If I come at the end of it, I hold my left click. That means I'm increasing the width. Look at it. You will see the pixel width is 15.09, or the pixel is 173. So I'm dragging it forward or I'm dragging it backward. That means I'm increasing the width of it. So as you can see, if I want to increase the height, I will come at the edge. You see, I want to increase the height of row 1, then I'll come at the edge of it. I'll hold my left click and I'll drag it. Then I increase the height of my row 1 and I increase the width of my column A. So this is how it works, and width and height is what we are going to discuss also today. So since we did this cursor in Excel, and I believe you understand how cursor works in Excel, I think we talk about 6 or 8 pictures, or 6 pictures of it in Excel, or more than 6. So let's talk about this table and table border. Like I said, if you want to put a table border, or you want to put a table, first of all, please highlight the number of columns and number of the rows that you want. For example, now, if I want to have, maybe I want to create a form that has, for example, let's just say serial number, full name, for example, let's say country, state, LGA, gender, marital status. So I need to know, okay, I need to know how many columns I have for this, and it's for how many people. Let's say it's only 10 people, or let's say 20 people. So I want to create for 20 people. I want to create a table for 20 people. With what? How many columns? The columns is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7. So it's going to be A, B, C, D, E, F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be this. So let me cut this. I'll just cut it and bring it here. So up till G. So I'm going to highlight from A to G. Then I will highlight it up till what? 20 or 21. We are going to stop at 21 because I told you this is not a what? It's not a serial number. It's a what? is just a row number. We are going to stop at 21. Why? Because row 1 is going to take the what? Is going to take the header, while 2 is going to start from this where we want it to be. So I'm going to highlight them all. After I highlight them, then I will come here. Look at where I am. Click on this drop down. As you can see, just come here where it shows all borders and click on it. So by default, I put the table border for this table. Then I can come and put my serial number. I can put full name. I can put the country, state, LGA, gender, marital status, as you can see. So now we did this. This is one of the way, and please, this is what you are going to keep using up till the end of this boot camp. I'm going to show you another way of putting the table, but please don't use that way. Always use this way of putting the table. So another way of doing that, let me just click Control Z and just bring everything back to it. So we highlight everything. You can just click Control T, or you can go to Insert and just click on Table. It will highlight what you highlighted. You see, it just highlighted it for me. My table has border. If I want, I can say my table has border. If it doesn't, just untick it. It will create new border for you, new headers for you. And when you click OK, this is what's going to show. You see, it's just a table like this. Now you are going to change this. You are going to put SN. You are going to change full name. You are going to say country, state, LGA, gender, marital status. Please, for the purpose of this training, let me remind you again, please, while creating a table, whenever you were asked to create a table, even in your assignment, individual assignment, don't put this table. It has a lot of issues. It has a lot of issues that if you use it, it will cause a lot of errors to you. Please don't use it. Please, I just show it to you so that you will know there is a way to use it. And time will come when I will allow you to use it. When you reach a certain stage, I will allow you to use it, but as it is now, please don't use it. But when we reach maybe anything around week 8, week 7, I will allow you to keep using to start using it if you like. By then you are used to Excel, you are used to everything. But for now, it's just for you to know how to do it. So let's call it a day. Let's stop here. But after 5 minutes, you can rejoin. I will share the link for you to rejoin so that we will have question and answer for what we discussed today, and we'll call it a day. We have some few seconds to go. So thank you so much. After 5 minutes, let's meet and have the question and answer session with you. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me start reading your questions and see those that the question. Okay, someone was saying, please, sir, explain the second procedure of creating the table. Yeah, the second procedure that I explained, I said, is when you highlight the number of columns and rows that you want to create, then you go to Insert. When you go to Insert, you will see Table. Just click on the table. When you click on it, okay, so let me stop the sharing. Let me show my Excel. Yeah, so let me do it again so that everyone will be on the same page. So like I said, if you highlight the number of columns and number of rows, let's just say I just want 8 rows. Go to Insert. When you click Tables, look at it. If your table has border, you say my table has border. Let me show you why you need to say that in this format. So if I say, for example, SN, full name, country, state, LGA, gender, then marital status, for example. Now I highlight all this. I highlight up till G and I highlight this. So now if I click here, if I tick this, my table has border, has headers on it, it means this number 1 will be considered as header by this table that I'm going to insert. But if I untick it, I remove it, I said, okay, it means my table doesn't have headers. Automatically, this table will create header for me. So let me untick it and show you what will happen. It will create column 1, column 2, column 3 on top of it. So let me create, okay, you see, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, column. It doesn't consider this as header because I didn't say my table as header. So now if I come back, now I click, or for example, now I tick on it here, I say, okay, my table has headers. Now if I click OK, it will turn these headers, this serial number that I put as headers of the table. And another thing, like I said, if you highlight everything, you can just click Control T. Control T is a shortcut of going to insert and click on table, is a shortcut of that. Then you can click my table as border, then you can just click OK and it will create that for you. And I told you, I highly recommend, please do not use this. Please don't use this in your assignment. If you ask you to create a table in your assignment, I believe every assignment has create a table. If we ask you for that, don't put this table. Don't insert this table. That's not the table that we want. You can insert this table and have a lot of issues and errors in your work. Please don't do it. Don't use it for now. So I just show it to you for the purpose of this. And later on, you learn more about this table. Okay. So let me look at some of your questions again. I was logged out and couldn't rejoin. Okay, yeah. There is a recording. I already said that, but I told you I can't guarantee that because sometimes I can put the recording, it will not uh, record it well and other things. But when I'm done, I'll go through it. If everything is okay, there is no maybe network issue or there is no problem in the record and everything, I will just give it to you. You are getting the recording. But sometimes I will put the recording and after the class, I will check it didn't record anything. So that's why I don't want to guarantee that to you. But today I put the recording. I believe after everything, I will put the videos together and I will send it to you. Someone say, how can one save sheets in one workbook and the names of the sheet appear alphabetically? Yeah. Like I told you, we already have different, we can create multiple sheets here. So if you come to a sheet like this, just right click on it, you will see rename. If you come to it, any sheet that you come to, sheet 2, right click on it, you will see rename. You can rename it, put anything that you want to put. You come here, right click on it, you rename it, or you just double click on it. When you double click, to show this to you, highlight it all, it will highlight it itself all like this. Then you just delete this, and for example, I want to make this to be day 2, then I'll write day 2. If I want to edit it, I'll right click it and click rename. If I want to delete it, I can right click it and delete. So I can delete this sheet 3, I can delete this sheet 4, I can delete this sheet 5. If I want, I can also move it. The way I show you how to move cell like this, that's how you can move this sheet also. Now if you come to it, you hold your left click, you can move it here, it will come to this. You can move it here, it will come to this, the way you want it to be. Or you can click here and move it to the end. Move to the end, you can click OK, it will move to the end. Or you can click here and do whatever you want. So that's how this sheet is. It's not something that difficult. But thank you for asking this question. I believe some of you now see how they can rename it, how they can delete it, how they can move it, and how they can do other things for it. Yeah, the first way to create a table, like I told you, is when you highlight it, and that's the way you are going to keep following during this program. As I said, when you highlight it all, come down, then you come here. You will see it here. There is something here. Click on this drop down. You will see all borders. This is how it is. And these are the borders of your table. This is how your table looks like. And this is the table you will keep using throughout this bootcamp. When you ask to create a table, please, this is what you are going to use. And this is how you are going to create your table. Please take note on this. Yeah. So if you have a question, please you ask your question. If you have any question, you ask before we call it a day. So after this, I will just put all the videos together and I will share it with you. Okay, if you have a question, please, you can ask your question before we call it a day. And I believe you are going to start practicing with what we did today. Please start small, small, start practicing like this, because it's going to be tough every day, something different every day. That how it keep moving. So, but if you master what we did today, before tomorrow, believe me, you are going to see it like piece of cake. Everything will come uh, very easier for you. So please start doing the practical tonight. Start doing it today, so that tomorrow you'll not ask me, how do we create that table yesterday? And I believe you saw how I did the width, the height, all the cursors that we did. Please master that. Learn how to drag, learn how to highlight, learn how to move, learn how to adjust the width, adjust the height. Please learn that. It will help a lot. Please try to learn that. So, in the absence of any question from anyone, I think we can call it a day. Yes, I talked about that yesterday. Any assignment that you did, any data that was given to you, when you saw the data, understand the data, you can put that in your portfolio. You can put that in your CV. That one of the work that you did, maybe you work with World Bank data that has to do with maybe this and that, or you work with hospital data that has to do with this and that, or you work with social data. All these are things you write to show people, the maybe hiring team or human resource department, that you know what you are doing, that you did something before related to the job they are maybe hiring people on. Okay, so thank you so much. I believe there is nothing to ask, so I'll put the videos. Please, you pardon me. I have other things to do, but I'll try my best to put the video together, to upload it. I share the link with you. So please, I'm sorry. Bear with me, but I will share it as soon as I'm done with everything. I'll share it with you. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful dream.